Get the K right to the sight sex. Leave the fire and the roof style stuff. I'm on the grind like we're chasing the stars. From Millmore to Du Valley, we've come so far. Talk about legends, yeah, we know the score. Ronnie and Bobby, we remember you more. From the highs of the Wembley fight to losing our trousers, still we ignite. Red and white with the pride, we're never gonna bow. Fighting like middlemen, hear the roar now. We're middlemen, we stand up tall. Through ups and downs, we give it all. From Millmore to Du Valley.
Good evening and welcome to Terrace Talk. I'm your host, King Bush. Tonight we've got a Mansfield fan on. I've upset Mansfield this week, so I hope Cam's not too angry with me. Cam is from, well, just let us know where you can find your channel as well, Cam, while you're introducing yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Cam. I'm part of the Mansfield Matters podcast. We do the same as this, live streaming our podcast every week on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever else you can get your podcast from. We also then obviously release it in podcast format, and we're currently up for a Football Content Award this year. We've been nominated as a finalist for the Football Content Awards at Ellen Road in November. So we're up for Best Podcast Football League in that category. So if you want to go and vote, search for Football Content Awards on Twitter or just Google search it and you can find the voting form on there. Yeah, so we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then Mansfield Matters is also on the website as well. There's a lot of places. You can find us in pretty much every corner of the internet. Brilliant.
So what I'll do is I'll give you a vote to say sorry for calling you a pub team. We shouldn't be losing to teams like Mansfield. That's kind of upset quite a few of your fan base this week. But yeah, I'll give you a vote on there for the best podcast. We've got Turbo with us. Tom, how you doing, Tom?
All right, lads. I'm doing okay. It's Monday. It's dark. Dark thoughts. I just want to say, Cam, top lad for coming on and agreeing to do this with us. Well done, mate. And let's have a great discussion.
And we've got Alan Sugar himself, Bez, the legend. How you doing, Bez?
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, welcome, Cam, and I'll be voting for you. Hopefully, you walk away with that trophy.
Got people in the comments up the Rotherham. Evening, everybody. Welcome. Congratulations, Lucky, getting to Ellen Road for it as well. Yeah, the finals at Ellen Road, isn't it? Apparently.
Yes, in the Century Pavilion.
Super.
Ellen Road is the tin shed across the road.
We'll be there next year.
We will. So we're going to start with Cam. So obviously you're the happier of the person on the podcast tonight because Mansfield got a 2-1 victory. What were your thoughts on the game, the referee, the penalty? What was your sort of thoughts? Happy with the win, obviously.
Relieved, to be honest. I think we are very lucky to be getting anything out of any games at the moment. We have got such an injury crisis. One fit centre-back, the centre-back that started, Deji Oshalaja, affectionately known as Dave on our podcast. He one full training session in 3 months and he starts on Saturday and we win. How? I have no idea.
I can tell you how.
I can think of a reason why, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But yeah, relieved. We are so disjointed at the moment. We can't play the way that we want to. We're playing players out of position. We are just a really patched up team at the minute, and we've just found it very difficult in games recently. And we always like to perform at home. It's something that Nigel Clough's always wanted to do. He's just be solid at home. Don't lose your home games is something that every football fan wants. Obviously, you want to put a good performance in front of your own fans, and that's something that Nigel Clough has had since day one, and it's been frustrating to watch recently. So it's like where we've not been able to get a result, or we've just not performed the way that we can. We've actually only lost once at home this season, and that was against Doncaster. And it's just trying to find a balance of players that are fit and then trying to get them into a system that we can then play football with, and not just resort to lumping it long, which is something we're not known for anymore. And so very relieved, but very, very happy walking around Parkgate Shopping Centre earlier, Parkgate Retail Park. Got a few sly little comments about wearing my Mansfield shirt, but it has to be done. Living in Rotherham has its perks.
Mm-hmm.
Just to mention that.
Go on, sorry. It's interesting you said that you've got a lot of injuries. Our managers in his aftermatch has come out and kind of blamed the fact that we've got a lot of injuries. 3 of them are strikers, but he only plays 1 up front anyway. So you can forget 2 of the others. You can't even count them as injuries. But yeah, it's a bit. Obviously, I know Matt, I'm sure, is well thought of as a coach. I believe in your sort of area from speaking to the other guy on your podcast. But for me, I clearly think he's a manager out of his depth. I think he needs to be replaced as soon as possible. The football is horrendous. I mean, what did you make of Rotherham, Cam? As a Mansfield fan, as a neutral, kind of watching the game, what did you make of 1 hour tactics and the way we was playing?
Good in spells, but quite evident that there's just not enough depth and quality in the rest of the team. It's fine having players sort of like Jordan Hugill, the caliber of player that he is and the quality. If you've not got the rest of the team to back him up, saying it's sort of like you look at the defence, you've got players that are really experienced in Reece James, for example, and it's just not clicking all the time. You can get good spells out of the game. Obviously, taking advantage when you did with the penalty, dubious or not. We'll come on to that a bit later as well. But it's just being able to take your chances, but then there was too many opportunities where you got in behind us, and it was really tame for us to deal with. It just wasn't that clinicalness, and there wasn't that attacking intent. We've struggled with that this season, so I fully understand why it's so frustrating to watch. We've gone through spells this season where we can't get the ball forward, and the final product from our strikers hasn't been good enough, or it's just completely wayward. But we've also been at the other end where sort of like we've got it there and then just not done anything with it. The final pass has been poor, or we've just been shrouded away from the goal, and it's been frustrating. So I can see why you're frustrated with Matty Hanshaw. But I also think this is just sort of like taking my Mansfield hat off for a second, and just obviously living in Rotherham. I've got friends, and my next door neighbour's a Rotherham fan, for example. And just when you talk to them, it just feels like that something at the core of the club in general is off. Nothing seems to be right. Tony Stewart sort of like he's always these fans that have said sort of like wanting him to step back or sell the club to somebody else. Like there's no ambition, spending money on players that realistically you're not going to get all that much out of. Jordan Hugill and Reece James are the prime examples, really good quality players. But if you've only got 2 players, for example, that have got that sort of ability and quality, you've not got a team. And it just seems that the decisions from top to bottom are just all a bit off. And yeah, it's just strange dynamic. And Tony Stewart apparently in the off-season mentioned about not wanting to sell up and this, that and the other. And it kind of... there
is rumour at the minute of an American investment coming into the club to work alongside Tony Stewart, which in my view, I'd prefer him to sell the club. I think he's at an age now where the everyday running of the football club is getting too much for him. And I don't want him to ruin his legacy. What we've got to remember as Rotherham United fans is that he did save our football club, and he moved us from an horrendous football stadium to a lovely stadium that's now not being kept well, should we say, as it's starting to get a little bit older. We're not upkeeping that. So I'm fearing...
Sorry, Lee. Can I just ask you a question about it? It's basically a little bit as to what Lee asked you. And you can say, you know what? I'll watch the game and I don't know, because that's where I am at the minute. What style of football did you think Rotherham were trying to play? Like, did you think they were knocking it around? Were they going direct? Were they doing a bit of both? Like, what could you see Rotherham were trying to do?
That's what I mean. It just didn't look coherent. I don't think it was evident that he wasn't playing the same style of football for 90 minutes, or he was just chopping and changing a lot. And I think sometimes that's part and parcel of the game, because you've got to adapt to the situation that you're in. We try to play very full-on, heavy football, and we try and get the ball up the field as sometimes as quickly as possible, because we've got the players to be able to do it when they're fully fit. We've got the pace, we've got the technical ability and the attack mindedness of the players that we've got, and it works. But we've been backs to the wall sometimes, and we just have to change. And with the players that we have got, when we've got a fully fit squad, we know that if we go behind in the game, we know we can adapt and take the game on. Whereas it looked on Saturday as if you were going to try and defend a 1-0 lead for the rest of the game. And
that's exactly what we were going to do.
Just in League One, all right, the quality in League One is on the lower side it's been over the last 10 years, for example. League One a few years ago was ridiculous. You think of teams like Portsmouth, Derby, Ipswich that have all been in this division.
Us.
Rotherham, yeah.
Teams don't count.
I'm just going to go through some comments, because we're getting quite a lot of comments in and they're disappearing off my screen. So TS out and new investors in, Edward Broomhead. Jake Stone, Clough is only getting stick from a small minority. He's doing an extremely good job and is steadily improving us year upon year. You can keep Hamshaw. Yeah, mate. I would swap Clough for Hamshaw in a heartbeat.
I have to say as well, like from the outside in, when I heard a couple of weeks ago that Clough he was nowhere near getting sacked, but the fact that Clough and sacked was being in the same sentence, I would absolutely, I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe that. I know it took him a long time to get promoted from League Two, and I do think that was a bit of his downfall, because the investment that had gone into a League Two side was quite big. But the fact he's finally done it, never looked like going down, in my opinion, last season. And I think you've had a good transfer window this season. I actually think he's doing a very good job. You know, when was the last time Mansfield were in the Championship? I don't know the answer, but I'm pretty sure they've never been in the Championship in my lifetime. So the fact that Clough is getting this team closer and closer to a playoff spot in League One, I think it's incredible.
Obviously, we had a really good start to last season, and obviously that's just a carryover for momentum. You're seeing Bradford are doing it this season, as are Donny. As much as I know that will pain you guys because Yorkshire and all that.
They'll not stay there, though.
No, there's an elephant up the top of a tree. They'll fall at some point. I think, like Nigel, he's got that reputation with our fans, and sort of like just this identity of sort of like just getting the job done. And obviously, we at the third attempt in League Two, we got promoted. He saved us from relegation in the COVID season. We were really struggling. Brought some stability, got us into the playoff final the following season. Missed out on the playoffs by one goal on the final day of the season after. Got promoted the season after. Kept us up last season. The first time we'd been in League One for 21 years. It's the first time we'd stayed in League One for 35.
Yes. Jake Stone says it was 1977.
Yeah, 77.
That's
We
the
literally
championship.
we went up to the championship and went straight back down again.
Yeah.
So we are not we a lot of our history we've just bounced between League One and League Two. So
obviously that's where the comments come from. Obviously, when I've come out and said, obviously we should be beating teams like Mansfield. I honestly believe we should be beating teams like Mansfield, Doncaster. I believe we are a championship football club, and that's where we should be playing as trade. We're playing championship ticket prices. So I know a lot of Mansfield fans were going, "Oh, you didn't bring many to our stadium." Have you seen us play away? The lucky 2 people and his dog turn up watching that crap. He's absolutely honking away from home. And like you said, we have no attacking intent whatsoever. So for people to go and pay and watch that week in, when if you look at our away record, you can't blame fans for not going. And obviously on the stream, you look at the facilities, you compare Rotherham to Mansfield, and that stadium, what obviously we're watching the game on, I seen Deirdre in the window, I give her a wave because I was like, I'm thinking it's the 3rd round of the FA Cup and we've drawn a non-league team. And that's no disrespect to Mansfield, because I think, like I said, I think Bez is right. I think Clough has done an absolutely fantastic job. And I would take him over Matt Amshaw any day of the week. But that's not saying much, because I'd probably take my dog over Matt Amshaw at the minute.
Cam, I can see you looking there. Just before you do send us a picture of the ground, I don't agree with what Lee was saying there. I think the ground is very good. Obviously, you've got your 3 big stands and you've got the 1 little stand. And unfortunately, when you're watching it through the TV camera, they do it from the main stand, so you can only see that little one. That's where Lee's got his comment from. But to be fair, Lee,
no, Bez, I live in Nottingham. I go past that stadium every week.
it looks good.
The leisure centre at the side of it's bigger than the stadium.
The weird thing is that we, for a very long time, obviously that little stand was closed. It's the first time since 2004 it's been open. I actually sit in there, so that's my season ticket spot now. And
sorry, are you in the small stand? Did you say?
Yeah. So that stand opened, I think, back in the 30s, 40s. So it's been there a very, very long time. And then it was condemned back in 2004 because of the structure. And they've rebuilt it pretty much since then. They've stripped all the metalwork back, reinforced it, new toilets underneath, new retaining wall. It's basically a new stand. It's absolutely lovely. But that's the side that we used to film from, on top of that stand. And that's where we will film from in the future. There's more of that stand being done. So when you're looking at the stand going to the right on the camera, that's going to all be extended to the end of the stand. The wall and where the houses are sort of like restricts the size of the stand. So it can't go any further to the left because the land just narrows too much where the scoreboard is.
So Cam, do you know that stand there? So I'm assuming there's a reason you can't build a bigger stand. Yes. I assume it's to do with, is it houses behind? Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're speaking of houses, it looks like Deirdre is in the chat. So we've got Deirdre Mansfield Town. Hello, Lee Sweetheart. I have been excited to watch you all day. So when I wave to her, she must be waving back at me. Hello, Deirdre. It's been really emotional seeing you. I'm just going to go through a few more chat because there's quite a lot. So Mansfield was charging 35 quid away for an away ticket.
Was it?
30.
Jake Stone, the Mansfield fans, my sister was married a miller from Romarsh. I know how hopeful you have been away and get it. I don't think it's disrespectful what you are saying about the Stags and our stadium. Yeah, I'm not trying to do it. I don't mean it in a derogatory way. We had it in the championship. Every team we played said we should beat teams like Rotherham. I think our expectations of the season, like you said when we were talking offline, your expectations were for Mansfield to finish mid-table. Our expectations is that we're paying the top end League One prices. We expect to be challenging top end. I mean, The season before was playing in the Championship. So last season, we spent a lot of money on wages. We had one of the highest wage bills in the league and nearly got relegated. So this season, Matt Amshaw was given money to sign younger players, a younger profile of players. But the problem we've got now is we haven't had sooner as they've kept Steve Evans and give him the players and him sign younger players. So, because when he did it the first time, the young players he signed were like Lee Frecklington, players like that went on to be legends of this football club and made this football club money. So I would have sooner have done that, because I think what we're missing now is somebody to get the best out of these young players. And I think tactically, the manager is out of his depth. Every game at half time, so the first half, we did the same at Wimbledon. We played well the first half. Second half, like you said, we sat back, trying to hold on to a 1-0 win in League One away from home. It's just never going to happen. Hello, John Darling. Lots of friendly people on here. Lee Darling, me and Alan have been excited all day. We have supported Mansfield for years. Watching you with a sherry, my love. She's got a sherry out. Can't falter. You spelt Deirdre wrong. Someone spelled Deirdre wrong.
That was me, that Lee.
You're suffering from the aftermath of a Steve Evans tenure and an outsider's perspective. We've been there. Do you think you need a clear out from start to fresh? Yeah, I think from us. Yeah, I think from me as a Rotherham United fan, I think the problem is bigger than the manager. We blame Taylor, we blame Richardson, we blamed Evans. Now we're blaming Amshaw, and I'm guilty of it as well. But the ownership and how this football club is run, I think, has deeper problems. I don't think one man can change anything. I think if we do get another manager, results will improve, because I think tactically anybody's better than Matt Amshaw at the minute. So I think we've got to make the change. Otherwise, with Matt Amshaw in charge and his mentality, that team won't have the mentality to stay up. That team will get relegated because they don't score enough goals. They're conceding from set pieces, and it's all the recipe of a relegation team currently as it's playing. We got Bradford midweek. We'll get spanked off them. And then, obviously, it's going to be a nightmare. So I think they've got to act quick. So when January comes, the new manager can come in, strengthen the squad in the areas that we need strengthening. Obviously, by then, Sam Nombe will come back. That's a big loss for us. Any team in League One loses Sam Nombe, you're going to have problems with scoring goals. But I'll put it to Bez. Bez, what are your thoughts? Just before I go through the comments after, give me your thoughts and then I'll go through some more comments, because there's lots of messages coming through at the minute. Go on, Bez.
Sorry, yeah. What were your question? About the game? About the game on Saturday?
No. Do you think we need a full reset? A manager change?
Yeah. So as I said before with Hamshaw, I didn't want him anyway. I very rarely want managers to come to the club who haven't got any managerial experience. And I know you do get it a lot these days, where a lot of clubs will employ someone who is not had any experience. Look at the Portsmouth manager, for example. You look at Russell Martin when he went to MK Dons. I know he's struggling now, but he went to MK Dons. And a lot of these managers do tend to work, but it just never seems to work with Rotherham. Never. The only type of manager that works with Rotherham is someone like a Steve Evans, someone like a Neil Warnock.
I just want to put this question to you quickly, Bez. So a comment's just come in, so I'm going to give you the chance to answer this one. So Steve Evans isn't interested in young players. He stopped the young pros training with the first team.
Yeah, that it's obviously rude. No one knows that. No one knows the answer to that. I don't think that's right. If he did do that, then that's not great. But what I would say is,
what I would say to that question is, how poorly has Matt Amshaw treated Kieran McGuckin? Stopped him getting a move, nowhere near the team, and told him he can do one.
Yeah.
he's not treating the young players any better. He's signed young players. That's it.
These managers, right? There is no way that they will do or give an instruction that they think will harm the team, because that's just ridiculous. Like, why, if you're a manager, why would you do something to kind of harm the team that goes out on a Saturday and plays? So if Matt Hanshaw or Steve Evans thinks, I tell you what, I'm going to not let the youngsters train with the first team because I want to put something negative into the club, he's just not going to do that. So I don't think any manager would do that, to be honest with you. And like Lee said, I do agree with you. Like Hanshaw, on the situation with Hanshaw and McGuckin is really poor. Now it's funny because out of all the youngsters that we had here, I actually thought McGuckin was the best potential out of all of them, because at least he played in the National League Premier and was scoring goals. So he's only a couple of divisions below us. The fact that he's still here, right, and not played any football at all is ridiculous. He should be on loan now at Yeovil or someone else in the National League.
He has actually picked up an injury, I believe.
Is that why? Yeah, but he's never on bench, though. He's only on bench.
But Matt Hanshaw has told him he's free to look for another club. Right. And the lad himself is gutted. Mansfield Deirdre, it wasn't a very good game. I thought we were watching rugby. It was very disappointing. I'm afraid, my dear, I think you need a new manager. Okay.
Just quick on the game. There is somewhere I am on the game then, and then you can go to Tom. I thought that Mansfield deserved the win. I think Rotherham for the first 10 minutes, I thought Rotherham were excellent.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to do. I think Mansfield second half was way better. Well, I even think there was better sort of midway through the first half, and then second half. I think Cam was right. I think we scored the goal, and then we just thought we're going to sit back. Tom, I'm going to come to you, mate. I've got a question for you from one of the chat. So, if we sacked Hammer, we'd only appoint Woody or Dale Tong, so we'll be no better off. What are your thoughts to that?
Bollocks. That's my thoughts to that, Lee, right? There's no chance.
Just say it as it is.
There's no chance that if we sack Hanshaw, which we will, let's make no bones about this, we will sack him. Whether it's today, tomorrow, the next day, after we get beat 5-0 off Bradford, right? We ain't going to go, and I hope we're not going to go. Oh, Woody, come here, mate. Come on, Woody. Yeah, good. Oh, Woody, hey, come here, mate, right? Take the job, Woody. All right, then I will. Not going to happen because it's failed. What we did with Hanshaw is what we did with Paul Warne, but it came off with Paul Warne, right? And it's not come off with Hanshaw. Woody and Dale Tong will not be our next manager, because if they are, wow, there's some serious issues. What happened when in the Championship when we sacked, was it Taylor, and then we had, was it Woody and what's his face, Scouser? Peltier. Yeah. Played Wigan, didn't we? And what happened then?
Got battered.
You got battered. So no, look, there's managers out there, and there's this thing coming from a lot of Rotherham fans like nobody will want the job. I'll take the fucking job, right? I'll take the job. There's people who are 100 times better than me at coaching a football team that will take the job.
Loads of comments coming in. So Owen, Jake is not to do with the aftermath of Evans. The club has been a mess since Warne left. Kelly, 4 Bobs, I don't think Matt Hanshaw is going anywhere soon. Be patient, lads. I got a feeling that Sam Nombe will be sold in January. Kelly needs to go to the job centre. God, there's loads coming through here. Can we tell that Bez?
What? Tell me what? Sorry.
I don't know. It says, can you tell that Bez? Steve Evans worked, didn't he, Bez?
All right.
Absolutely true. Young players weren't good enough. That's why. Yeah, it's all right playing young players, but they've got to be good enough. And the problem with our academy is we don't invest money in it, so it's not going to produce good players. That's it. Simple. I don't know why we're crying about young players. We don't have an academy to build it. So what was Steve Evans meant to do? Just play players that are not good enough? You can't do that. If you invest in your academy, it will provide you with good young talent in the local area. We don't do that. So if you don't do it, you can't moan about not having young players in your squad. I'm sorry, but that comes from the top. It doesn't matter who the manager is. But again, I think there was a comment saying Hampshire won't be going anywhere soon. I tell you, he will be going, because one thing that a chairman and a businessman cannot tolerate is the crowds dwindling, and that's what's happening because the football is so poor. So regardless of whether you want Amy in or want Amy out, I think he's going to go because the crowd, people don't want to watch his football. It is absolutely honking. I wouldn't even put a Sheffield Wednesday fan through that. Honestly, I wouldn't even allow them to be put through that.
They're going through enough as it is, let's say.
Yeah, you know what I mean? As bad as it is, this just can't continue. Lots of comments again. So why is Coyote getting game time over McGuckin? Why was Coyote given a contract? The guy's made of a chocolate biscuit. You put him in the fire, he just crumbled. Absolute clown of a player. He's stealing a living. I wouldn't pay him out in brass buttons. That's how bad he is. Oh, he only pays players if you play. No, he has to have a salary because that's the law in the UK. You can't just pay him as he plays. Yeah, it'll be pay-related pay, but he has to have a basic set rate. So the nonsense that he's only getting paid when he played, that's nonsense because it's against the law. You can't just, we're not paying you this week, you didn't play. He's got to have a base salary. It will be performance-related pay, so he'll get more when he plays, but he'll still be drawing a salary. Time is ticking. Yes, Danny, I think time is ticking, and I think it'll be ticking on Thursday when we get spanked off Bradford, and all the happy clappers will be drowning in tears because the boy from Rotherham is getting sacked. The damage is done. Lack of preparation and poor recruitment in the summer needs sacking as soon as possible. Time is no go.
I don't think it worked for recruitment personally. I think there's quality in some of the players that we brought in. I really do.
There's quality in some of the players, but what Danny was saying is they were signed after the pre-season tour.
Oh, right. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
So the planning of the recruitment was very poor. They didn't have time to fit in. That's why they're getting all injured at the beginning of the season. It's no shit, Sherlock. Do you know what I mean? You do stupid things, you get stupid prizes. And Amshore's a stupid clown, in my view.
I agree that the timing was poor. And like he said in his first point, the lack of preparation, I agree with that, yeah.
B says, Hampshire had slight digs at Evans' treatment of McGuckin and Holmes in the summer, but Evans played them more than Hampshire did. Exactly. Jake, I don't know. I don't want you to go down, and I'm pretty sure you'll be absolutely fine. Keep the faith. Send some Southern side down to League Two instead. And that's a great point. So, although we've lost to Mansfield, I'm so happy that we have got Mansfield, Doncaster, and all these local teams playing. I much prefer playing teams like where we can have the local banter, the local rivalry. As long as it doesn't get personal, I think it is. I'd sooner Mansfield do well than, I don't know, Exeter. You know what I mean? Because we all live local, and it is great having this banter, but not when you're losing all the time. You kind of get.
What do you mean when it doesn't get personal? I got called a scab in Rotherham Town Centre earlier.
Did you? Yeah, that's bad. I do not condone that, Cam. I'm really sorry about the Rotherham. I'll be honest, if I go into Rotherham, I'd probably get called worse than a scab, to be fair. Yeah. Some of my fans hate me more than your fans do, which is like a bit strange, but yeah.
Just on the youth, there's two things I want to say: the youth team and the stadium. Youth team, I am not surprised there is no good young talents coming through Rotherham because of the facilities that they're training at or playing at.
Thank you.
They're
Totally
at the sport
agree with you,
park.
Cam. Yeah.
And even the first team, though, I'm surprised the first team are as happy as they are. They're using porta cabins. I live around the corner. I live literally on the main road where the training ground is. And
you live close to it, don't you? So
Yeah.
you see exactly what. They're not a championship facility, is it?
No.
I would say Mansfield have got better. So I've flagged Mansfield's ground off, but your training facilities, what I've seen on clips of what you do, look a lot better than what ours are.
Yeah. Well, I'll say we've never, until that opened in 2018, we'd never had a training ground of our own. So when that opened, everything changed. There's now more youth team players coming through to the first team than ever before. We are actually now an attractive club for young local talent to come to. Before they'd go to Forest or Derby, or they'd travel a bit further and go to Sheffield United. And now we're just getting all the good young talent, which is absolutely fantastic. And we're able to sell some of them on already, and they're joining Forest. And we're now actually, we've got really good links with local clubs. So it's like we've had a good link with Alfreton for a long time. Matlock, we've sent players there. Baseford, all at a good standard in non-league football. And it works, and we're now starting to get that. And then second thing about stadiums, ours doesn't smell like poo. Yours does.
Smell like poo.
I don't know whether this might just be me because I'm not used to it. Every time I go into Rotherham, if you go anywhere near the stadium, because of the river and the canal either side, stinks.
Oh yeah,
really? I've never noticed that. No.
It's like a smell in your own house.
I'm not just saying that either. I honestly, I have to walk behind. So you know where the away fans do walk, I walk alongside them. So I sit literally at the away side, not in the main stand, and I've never saw anything now. What I would say, just back on your point about the academy, right? I actually don't think that it's necessary to have a great setup, right? Does it help? Yeah, of course it helps. You know, if you've got two clubs there, you don't know which one to decide. One club's got great facilities, the other one, and you go with the one with the great facilities. However, if you said to any academy player, look, we're going to try and get you into the first team within a certain period, they would sign for your club over a Man City or a whatever, because you're not going to get in Man City's squad. You're not going to get in Forest squad or whatever. So I actually think that if we could start having a bit more trust in youth players, the academy players, that is where you can then start to build your academy up, and young players will be prepared to sign for Rotherham because there's a chance to get first team.
Didn't Brentford take that stance where they binned their academy off? I might be dreaming that, but I think
a very long time ago. I think, I think
they binned it off.
I think they did like a very hard reset, like went back to completely square one, and now look at what they're doing.
So, what are your thoughts on what I said, Cam, on that?
Yeah, but that's the thing. You've got to look at sort of like how you integrate the squad. That training ground is not fit for purpose. Not if in the nicest possible way. I don't see Rotherham as a championship club because of the history. It's only been the last 15 years that it has been a championship club. But it's not wrong. The fact
Rotherham, if you look honestly at the history, they've been in the championship something like 25 to 30% of their history, something like that, which I think is quite a lot, to be fair. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
Anyway, but that training ground is not fit for purpose. It's got 2 full-size pitches, and the facilities are porta cabins. That facility is barely big enough for a reserves and a first team.
Yeah, well, we haven't got a reserves team. We don't have one.
For example, players that aren't in the first team but aren't like young enough to play in the youth team. But there's not enough space on there to integrate players efficiently because, like we say, I've always thought like, oh yeah, I'm going to go and watch Rotherham and Mansfield playing the youth teams, and then I realised, oh no, it's out at Catcliffe, Tinsley, whatever it's called, Sheffield Hallam Park, and it's like it's an absolute trek to get there. The facilities that are actually on offer at the game are terrible because it's not open. There's a toilet if you're lucky, and it's just not an attractive place to be. So that integration just isn't there because the facilities don't allow it.
Yeah, I agree with Cam on this one because I think as a young father, obviously my son was being looked at certain clubs, and you will go and look at these academies, and you are not going to put your son in that academy when they're playing out porta cabins. You're not going to do it. You're going to take them somewhere else where they're going to be looked after. And you think back to yourself where in your own jobs, you don't want to be going to work at a place that there's no toilet facilities, there's no proper shower facilities, there isn't this, there isn't that, because it has effect on your everyday work, because you've got to go training there more or less every day. It's not like they play at the stadium only maybe once a week, every other week. The training ground, they've got to go there every day more or less.
I sit and I'm past my window.
Yeah, and if it's not very good, you're not going to enjoy going into work.
No, I never said that. I never said it was the all and end all. I was just saying that if there was history of Rotherham, and it was this example, Rotherham getting academy players into that starting 11 in the match day squad, I, for example, would look, let's say my son was going, I would say, right, which team has my son got a better chance of getting into the first 11, and I'm going to send him there. That's what I would do personally, because he's got a better chance of getting into a professional club. That's what I'd do anyway.
Yeah. I've just got to go through quite a few of these comments because we've got loads coming in. We've got lots of people watching live, so please like, share and subscribe. I'm going to put this to you, Tom. When Amshaw gets sacked and we get another manager in, who gets us out of this mess? Who's next to blame?
I would say to Owen, does Owen want us just to stick with this then, does he? Is that what Owen wants? Does Owen just say, sod it? Let's have the mentality that, if we get relegated, we'll keep hold of them players, be rate, blah, blah, blah. Who's next to blame? Somebody who can take this club away from the relegation zone. Have you seen this league? It is pathetic, right? It is utterly pathetic, and it's embarrassing that we're in the bottom 4 of this league, right? So people go on about, and I've seen a few comments today on big social media accounts, oh, what's next if we sack them? Oh. I'll tell you what's next. Improvement. What is the point? It's a results business. If you're not getting results, you're failing. So you have to change. It needs to be changed. I don't care. This man is not the man for the job. And we can... if I was failing at my job, I'd get removed. End of. So he's failing at his job. Needs to be removed.
My question is, we had a better start last season under Steve Evans.
Correct.
This is the worst start to a season since Danny Bergara. Why all of a sudden, just because he's Matt from Rotherham, we're expecting to give him extra time? That isn't how football works.
It's mentally, because this is the route that a few weird fans are going down. Oh, if we get rid of him, and I'm sorry, Owen, I'm sure you're a nice bloke, obviously. But if we get rid of him, who are we going to blame next? We just need somebody who's bloody managed. Who's managed a football club at this level. And we'll start getting results. And then we will get mid-table. But anyway.
John Sullivan, why doesn't Hammy clap the fans?
I called that on the first away game, remember? I said... after Stevenage, he didn't clap the fan. Well, like what he does is he turns round from his he
doesn't come right over.
And I said this, and he's doing it every game. He's not helping himself there at all. Like, you're supposed to be brave as a manager and go right up to the fans and clap them, not just chicken out and be 50 yards away. It winds you up that as well, to be honest.
He even gave the reins of a big league club one with no club or experience. Send him to Parkgate as an assistant.
Manager at Next?
Quite a lot of comments coming here. Academy play and train at Sheffield Hallam Sports Park. You have to invest in your training ground and your academy. It's the best way to make money. On another note, my friend's son signed for Mansfield at the end of last week. Never noticed that, Cam, the smell of poo.
It's not quite bad.
We all know who's next to blame, Owen. So who's next to blame, Owen? Who were we blaming? I mean, I blamed Tony Stewart before Matt Amshaw come.
That's what he's blaming, isn't it?
I'll blame him for everything recently. He's ruining his legacy, in my view. Don't forget, Rotherham United turned down Jamie Vardy.
I'm not sure that's true, man.
No, that's not true. I will tell you, I've read Jamie Vardy's book. They offered him a 6-month contract.
Yeah.
That was the issue, right? That's why he never signed. Anyway.
Been saying this a long time, but the training facility is an absolute joke. Non-league training ground. We are sending Sheriff back to Everton to recover quicker. This is embarrassing. No, I'm saying I'm sure out. It's a simple answer, Stuart.
Yeah, he was saying what I'm sure out. He was trying to get you to say we need to be blaming Stuart as well. That's what he was trying to get.
Owen, my apologies, mate. Owen, my
apologies. So I totally agree with Owen. I think these two men are the problem. Stuart and Paul Douglas. I think he hits the nail on the head there. Just a point, Hugo signed a 4-year deal and has had 5 managers. So just because he's had 5 managers, it means we have to continue with the manager out of the 5 that's got the worst win ratio. We'll continue with him because he's Matt from Rotherham. No, the guy needs to go. He's out of his depth. Steve Evans didn't go till January, February, did he? No, but Steve Evans... But the fact is, this isn't Amshaw's first season here. He had half for last season as well. So that others is what you're forgetting. It's a rhetorical question. Yeah. Who do we blame next, Stuart or Douglas?
Get you, mate.
Both of them. What is there to clap about, though? Seriously, there's nothing to clap about, mate. But
Shelley, he's not clapping. The manager should be clapping the fans for still turning up. You know, Rotherham have won something like 6 or 7 away games in 5 years. I mean, surely the manager could call up and clap the fans for saying, thank you for turning up yet again.
I'm going to put this question to both of you guys. So just get Evans back. Sheffield United admitted they made a mistake, took a risk, and then admitted it was wrong. Should we do the same?
No, because you've got to remember that Chris Wilder left very surprisingly 1 game away from the Premier League. So he was successful. Even you said, Liam, we're all big Evans fans. Even you said that Evans had a poor season and he got sacked
for me, it would be a no. I wouldn't take Evans back. I think as much as I do like Evans. I've always liked Evans, but he was rightfully sacked because the football was as bad as it is this season. Let's bear no bones about that. Just because we like Steve Evans, I'm not going to come on here and say Steve Evans deserved to keep his job. I think he was rightly sacked, and I wouldn't have him back. I think his football is dated. I'd like some somebody that's been a manager. For me, I'd take Robbie Savage all day long.
Before we move on, Cam, so what is yours, and then if you like Mansfield's kind of views on Steve Evans? Like I actually don't know what happened myself, so I'm not winding you up if it is a wind-up question. I just want to know what the views are on Steve Evans from a Mansfield point of view.
They don't like him. He's a snake.
Yeah, I hate him. We hate him. Everyone hates him. Point proven. He had to have personal security. He had.
That's the reason, though. Why do you hate him? Because when he left Mansfield, forget me if I'm wrong, I reckon they were in the League Two playoffs. He left, and Mansfield finished outside. Is that right?
Even worse, we were third.
Okay, so explain why you're hating them.
Because he left us. He left for money, and he lied about it as well. He said he was taking a job in the Chinese Super League, and then conveniently 2 weeks later rocked up at Peterborough.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if he'd have come out straight away and said, "Look, lads, I want to go to Peterborough because it's my hometown where I live, club, right? They're in a high division," and he was honest about it, do you think he'd have got a lot of love, still got love from Mansfield fans then?
I don't think he'd get the amount of abuse that he gets now. I still think that some people would feel like he's turned his back on us. He's not finished the job that he did. Obviously, he did very much did the same thing with Crawley when he took your guys.
Yeah, took Rotherham job. Yeah.
And obviously they were all but up when he left anyway.
Yeah.
And they managed to finish that job, whereas we had a good chunk of our season left. When he left, we only then won 2 games for the rest of the season.
Right.
One of those was against Chesterfield, thankfully, which all but sent them down, which was funny as fuck. Sorry, yeah, I do swear.
You're right.
And the other one was Yeovil, and that was it. We drew every other game or we lost, and it was ridiculous. And it was just the fact, like you said, it was just the snaky way that he did it. And I think it's the wrong decision to get him back. If I was you, I mean, first and foremost, your food bill would be half of what it was previously, because my goodness, that man has been on them weight loss jabs. Has to have been. Nobody loses that much weight that quickly.
Yeah, he's definitely done the weight loss jabs.
But like somebody said in the commentary about Evans coming back, about his tactics being dated. Yeah, it's not worth it. He plays one style of football and that it no plan B. So if you guys, obviously you guys think it's bad now on Hanshaw, it's always worse under Evans.
No.
Yeah,
I would. If there was I wouldn't take Evans back, but if there was a choice now, you keep Hanshaw or you can have Evans back. I would take Evans back over Hanshaw every day of the week.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, Lee, quickly, my question is, if not a full sale and investors coming in, Tony can't match them financially, so what happens then? So it depends. We don't know the deal, do we? So obviously, if they agree a deal, he'll have to match them. Otherwise, the deal won't happen. So obviously, there'll be something in place before any contracts are sort of signed. So obviously, Tony Stewart has got money. Let's not pretend he hasn't. He has got money. So if an investor comes in and it means matching them, I'm sure he'll match them. Otherwise, he wouldn't ask for investment. Just get Evans back. Stop living in the past, mate. We need a big change, and going back to past managers for a third time is going. And there's difference between Wilder and Evans. Yeah, there's a difference between Wilder. Yeah, totally. Because Evans, obviously, Wilder had done a good job at Sheffield United. He only didn't get promoted with Sheffield United because there was an outstanding team in that league that season. I think any other season that point tally's gotten promoted, I think I read somewhere. So, yeah, he was harshly sacked, and then they brought a guy in who had absolutely no idea, bit like Hanshaw, tactically inept, and then obviously they went back to him. But with Steve Evans, we was crap last season as well, so we can't really play that one. Steve Evans played awful football. Yeah, can't disagree with that on the last occasion he did. Liam Richardson was given 24 games and he got the ball. Albeit Hanshaw has a slightly better win ratio. If Matt Hanshaw is given longer, surely the question has to be asked. I rate the Grimsby manager. From what I've seen, he seems decent. Yeah, ex-Rotherham player as well is David Artell. I'd take anyone who gets a proper Rotherham spirit back and who gets the fans back in the ground and something to cheer about. And that's it. We're not so Cam. Obviously, Matt Hanshaw promised us would get the Rotherham United DNA back, up and at 'em, in your face, team spirit. Did you see that on Saturday from our Rotherham team?
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Literally, when you scored, it was about it. You hit the crossbar from a free kick. That's about it. No, 3 grade A chances. One was a penalty, which was dubious at best. One was hitting the crossbar from a free kick, and the other one was just flashing the ball straight across the face of goal. And other than that, I can't actually remember a good opportunity of scoring. And I think it felt flat.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's not attractive football in the slightest. I would agree that Evans does play better football than Hampshire, but Evans is very stubborn in his football and he only plays one style of football, which is also feeds into the fact that he doesn't play kids. So that solves the academy problem there and then. If you don't want an academy, employ Steve Evans. Simple as we've had it.
This is the thing this is what is backward about the club though, Cam. So they're saying they want to focus on youth now, but the youth setup and the infrastructure for the youth is just totally lacking. So it's an empty promise. It's pathetic. We can't do that unless we are going to build a new training facility. That's not going to happen because apparently we've spent a load of money on the pitches at Roundwood that usually get flooded. So we're not set up to look after youth. And realistically, we are lucky that we've got Dan Gore and players like that. But Everton have sent us a young player and he's got injured. So they're going to think twice about sending us players when players are coming and getting injured, because Dan Gore got injured the first time as well here. So if we're sending players back and they're coming and the facilities are poor and the academy players are getting injured, they're just not going to continue sending them. Mighty Miller, outside shout. Pete Wild at Fleetwood, done a good job everywhere he's been and progressed through the leagues. Yeah, that's a good shout, Mighty Miller, to be fair.
It's a wild shout.
Yeah.
After the past seasons, they should be knocking prices down. Sorry, Bez, let me get these comments out. After past 3 seasons, they should be knocking ticket prices down because it's been a shambles. And again, Cam, that's where I come to you. We are paying the highest ticket prices in League One behind Stockport County. And the chairman upped the prices and reduced the wage budget. So that's where the annoyances from the supporters, and that's why you probably didn't see as many attendees at Mansfield as what you probably normally would from Rotherham, because Rotherham usually have always had a good away following. No matter what you can say about Rotherham, I don't think you can ever knock the away following that they do give. They always travel well, but when you combine the high ticket prices with the constant poor performance. I mean, if you look at our away record, it is absolute abysmal for the past 3 years. It's not just this season. It's gone on for the past 3 years where away is just absolutely poor. I don't know if anybody actually knows our away record. It must be amongst the worst in the country.
4 in about 75 games, I heard.
Yeah. So you can't really sort of expect fans to travel that. So Scott Kent's just put it up. So we've played 74 and won 7 away from home.
Well, that's better than what I thought.
I'm going to say, I didn't think it was that, actually. I didn't think it was
I thought it was better.
Kelly Bobbs has said it's 4 wins in 78 games.
Aye, yeah, that's what I thought.
So Cam, the question I was going to ask you was, and it might be difficult, were there any Rotherham players that you were impressed with on Saturday from your point of view? You can't say no one. You can't say no one.
I mean, the substitutes did some good running up and down the wing, by being off the side of the pitch, but showed good energy. Yeah, that was not bad. Just going back to the away, I think you can see that there is a frustration with just how the clubs run, because you see home attendances are dwindling, away attendances are dwindling. Like you said, Rotherham have always been a well-backed club. Every time I've been to a Rotherham game, the away end's always been full. And I think that's just something for me. It's just the fact that we had the 5th highest average away attendance last season, above Birmingham.
I will say as well, Cap, I was at the home game against Mansfield last season, and your fans, to say you was near the bottom were the best that come to New York Stadium. I don't know whether Bez says something different about that, but I thought your fans were brilliant that day, and they wound me up on the way out as well. So they were shouting abuse on the way out.
What I would say, they were excellent. I will back me up. However, right, if you exclude the Papa John's Trophy or whatever, that's the first time Mansfield have ever played at the New York. So I would have expected them to sell out. So I'm interested to see how many they'll bring this time round. So I think it'll be less.
Don't forget, we didn't win a game for a full year. It was 39 points out of 222 points available we got. So 4 wins out of 74, yeah. Very poor. But yeah, so on to the game on Saturday. So what was everyone's thoughts about the referee? Because a lot of Mansfield fans are saying he gave everything to Rotherham. I just thought he was poor. I didn't at the time. I thought it was a penalty, but obviously when I've kind of watched it back a few times, I think if it was given against us, I'd be quite annoyed because it kind of come off his body and then up his arm, which I was led to believe if it comes off another part and then hits your arm, it's not a penalty anymore. But who knows? I don't even think the referees know anymore, do they? So,
well, it's the same with the Arsenal game. Arsenal game last night, wasn't it?
Oh, that was awful.
It deflected off.
The reason the referee gave the penalty on Saturday is because the lad's got his arm out and up. And that is a fact. So, like, if you watch, his arm is out. It's not by his side. And, yes, it does hit the bottom of his arm after it hits his body. Again, I don't know the rules either. But I also didn't think it was a free kick for Mansfield's winner. It wasn't a free kick. So, you could argue it evens itself out.
It's wrestled into the ground.
Honestly, it wasn't a free kick.
I don't understand that.
It wasn't a free kick.
How you guys finished with 11 men on the field, I don't know. You've literally shoved a guy in the face and it wasn't a red card. He booked our player for bloody going down. I don't understand it.
He should have been in the Olympic diving team for that. I mean, the guy's about 5'2" and about 8 stone wet through. If you go down like that on a Saturday night from a push, you deserve to get your head wellied all over town.
You can argue about the penalty and free kick. Honestly,
if I were the ref, I'd give him a red card for that dive.
If you honestly need to watch that back on because he pushes him in chest and he hardly touches him. He's embarrassing from your player. I'm sorry. And Dan Gore's like 5'6".
Yeah, it was a. I don't know whether it was a free kick. I think it may have been a free kick.
I'm rewatching it right now.
Go on then.
I'm going to watch it now.
Well, it's not going to show that incident, is it?
That it's a free kick. Simple as.
I'm going to watch it now then.
If I can get this to focus.
Guys in the chat, do you think that was a free kick that led to the goal?
Go on then, if you can do it then. Right. So let's play. So Reece James whacks it forward, not a foul, wins the ball. No way! He took himself to the floor. He literally just took himself to the floor. That is ridiculous.
He's got 2 arms round his body. It's a free kick.
He's just giving him a cuddle.
It's a free kick.
He literally took himself to the floor.
That's more of a free kick.
I'm going to get you. I thought it'd be Cam that'd be upset with me with my comments, but I'm going to get you two on Misfits Boxing at the end of this show. I'll make a killing.
Well, right. I have to say,
part of the show where we do tweet of the week. So Cam, you can help judge this as well. So you might disappear off the screen while I put the tweets up that we've all selected. So the first one is head well and truly gone on the way home from that shite. Hamshaw didn't even have any bollocks to walk over, stood miles away, clapping every single bit of abuse warranted. Sack him now. Worst manager we've had that I can remember. Makes Liam Richardson look like Pep. What are your thoughts on that one?
I agree with all of it. So, and I've already mentioned the Hamshaw not walking over. So go on, I'll let Tom answer that one.
No, you don't have to answer it. We've got to select the best one out of these. So
right.
we all agree that's a good tweet. This
Yeah.
one tickled me. This one did tickle me. I'm not going to lie. So Amram would play a 5 at the back and a 5 aside, and someone put Matt Amshaw. That did tickle me. I can't lie.
Nice one there.
Because that did tickle me. Rather bring Andy Warrington out of retirement and coaching than have Dawson in the net for another week. He couldn't hit water if it fell out of a bottle. Absolute pudding. Can't fault that one either. These are great tweets, to be fair. The latest Pauline Davis interview, so many lies to protect his mate. It wasn't a cruel defeat. We were awful second half. I'm sure didn't head for the away end. He clapped at the dugout and cleared off. The applause was heartfelt. Least he could do is offer after that crap. Great comment again. What did Martinez ever do for us? Only because he won a World Cup, people talk about him. No, I don't agree with that.
You were excellent for Rotherham. Yeah, you were excellent for Rotherham.
You can't be saying that. This one is a bit of a this doesn't come under tweet of the day. It comes under twat of the day. Less than a year ago, Bradford were languishing in 12th place in League Two. Their fans calling for the head of manager Graham Alexander. The club stuck with him, and they're now top of League One, looking like a well drilled in the 3-4-3 formation. Well, we don't play 3-4-3, you muppet.
The thing is, what people forget as well is, like, when you've got a new manager or a style or whatever, you need to be looking for something to work with. So, like, if we were doing something right, I might sit back and think, do you know what? I'm sure it's going to do something here. Like, for example, I remember Swindon under Di Canio. They were bottom of the league after the first month. Well, they were playing really well, and you could see what they were trying to do, and they ended up winning league. Whereas I can't see anything with Rotherham. Like, I can't see, like, what worries me, Cam, you see, is in pre-season, he was trying to play a passing style, pass. And we got hammered in 2 friendly games, and he's changed it already. I don't think he's playing the way he wants to play, I really don't.
That's a weird one, because that's his fault then.
It is. No, I know. And I actually said on probably our second or third show, what would disappoint me with Amshaw is if he ends up changing what he thinks or how football should be played and then gets sacked. I would rather him just play it the way he wants to, and then if he gets sacked, he gets sacked. At least he can say, well, I tried to do it my own way.
I did it my way. Yeah. Yeah. Next one. Spineless, pathetic CUNTs, bang average performance, but don't worry, all the happy clappers are over the moon because Hugo scored a penalty and he played all right for almost 20 minutes. Absolute pathetic. F off Amshaw, decent 100 years anniversary. This ain't it. So yeah, you're forgetting we're in his 100th year anniversary as well here, boys. So it's not great, is it? So out of them lot, what are you classing as the tweet of the week?
I don't think you can do the only one because that technically wasn't his own tweet. He's just retweeted that one. So I'd go for the first one for me.
This one,
that one, because I assume that lad has done that straight after the game, hasn't he? So obviously,
that's what he said.
It's raw emotion, that. So I'd go with that one personally.
Shelley, this is the thing we bound to say it's no free kick, and Cam will say it is. Yeah, well, yeah, we're never going to agree on who's in the right, but football evens itself up. If it wasn't a penalty, then it wasn't a free kick. So
this is going back to one of those tweets about the happy clappers being happy that Jordan Hugo played well for relatively 20 minutes and scored a penalty. He was also 100% at fault that we scored from that free kick. He completely lost his man.
Yeah.
Completely lost his man. Wrong side.
Where's Adam? Where's Adam?
Yeah, Adam will like you. He was saying that, but actually, Matt Amshaw came out in the interview and said it actually could be his fault because we do actual zonal marking at free kicks.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can't actually, if he's in the correct zone, it doesn't actually fall on him. It means the ball was put into a different zone and he scored from that. So Amshaw kind of admitted that it may be on him, that one. So that's even more embarrassing, if you're honest. I think if I'm the manager, I'll let Hugo take the blame for that, to be honest, when I'm in the position I'm in. But there you go. Scott Ken, if anyone was lucky not to be sent off, it was Lenny. Yeah, I think Lenny should have got sent off. He got booked and then he continued to keep fouling. Hugo should have blocked the Mansfield player, Dyer. He should have blocked him, but again, it was put into a zone that he shouldn't be there, so it's difficult. Just watched the winner back. I thought it was Jules' man. He appealed off the back of Jules because he was too big to marking Hull's man in front of him.
This is what I was trying to say. Like, if you watch the video and that what Adam kind of shared, Adam's right. Like, all you see is Hugo's like, he's struggling to keep up with the Flame, and obviously the Flame heads it in free header, right? But I still don't think you can say 100% that was Hugo's man, because you don't know where the Flame comes from. You don't know if, like, for example, that message there, it could have been Jules' man, and he's ended up like going to the back post, and Jules has been blocked off. So it looks like Hugo. So you can't blame anyone. I mean, you can't blame one person. Is what I'm trying to say. I mean, Cam, you were actually at the game. Was it clear and obvious that it was Hugo's man then, or not? Because I don't think you can tell on the video, personally.
Let's get the video analysis.
I mean, as long as you don't mind getting copyright strikes, yeah, I'm good. Let's have a look. So, can I also just say, Don Dwyer came on just before that free kick. So, from the whistle blowing to him heading it in, 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, good stuff.
Brilliant.
Just while you're doing that, I'll just read some comments out.
Let's have a look.
So where is he on there? Oh yeah, is it about post? It is.
Yeah, it's probably
Hugo's fault. Yeah, Hugo
this man back.
Poppy, just before you finish, I want to say it's been a great podcast tonight. Nice to watch and exciting, engaging, and entertaining podcast, rather than one that sends you to sleep.
Ooh.
I don't send you to sleep. I don't know who's sending you.
What podcast are you talking about, Lee? What?
I don't know.
The Leeds one.
Poppy, what podcast you talking about? Doesn't have to be his man, but Hugo should have blocked his run. Defending all round, sums up Woody's return. Tripe coach brought back as a cheap option too. So Josh Smith saying obviously Woody, friends for the boys' job. Sorry I'm late, lads. Joshua, no worries, mate.
Josh,
glad you're with us. To be honest, just a brilliant free kick, put in a great zone. And I think, you do have to say that was quality delivery into the box.
Yeah, it's a great ball, and
it is a difficult one to defend that. Just quickly, I just want to mention, obviously, in the top right-hand corner, we've got a QR code. This is for the Rotherham United Community Trust, who are walking 100 miles for 100 years to the New York Stadium on the 8th of October to arrive in time for Northampton. So that is a sort of just giving page for the fans that are doing that. So if you do scan on that, that will take you straight to the just giving page. So it's really good for people to get involved with. Just before we wrap up, so what are your expectations, Cam, for the remainder of the season? And do you think you're going to beat Rotherham in New York Stadium in the return fixture?
Mid-table, a year of consolidation. We stayed up last season playing not so brilliant football. We're playing better football this season, which is good. An improvement on last season, beating teams that we didn't beat last season. Leyton Orient, they thoroughly outplayed us, and we've really put them in the place, scoring from 45 yards, which was helpful. And we just look a more confident team all around, better additions to the squad. not relying on players like Aidan Flint, which is good.
Do you not rate Aidan Flint, Cam? He's not very good.
Great player, just didn't have the legs anymore. That's all it was. That's all it was personally. And he didn't score a header in 2 years, which was annoying. But so yeah, mid-table. It's just a consolidation, but just anything better than 19th, where it finished last season, 17th, whatever. So
I thought that just the fullback who you signed from Stockport, I think.
Kyle
Do you
Noyle.
rate him? Who? Sorry,
Kyle Noyle.
Yeah, I really rated him, and I wanted Rotherham to sign him. How's he done for you guys?
Brilliant. Fitted in well. Good lad. Good work rate, and yeah, just a really, really solid signing, and on a free as well. Absolutely brilliant piece of business. So really happy about that. But yeah,
is he playing centre half as well?
Right side centre half for a little bit, just sort of like when we have had to play as a 5 at the back, or just where they drop in, everyone sort of like comes in and sort of like, we play a bit of a wing backy sort of system, or try to when we've got players fit. And yeah, it's just settled in really well, absolutely brilliant. And yeah, or just all around, we just look a more balanced squad when everyone's fit. And are we going to beat Rotherham in the return leg? Yes, because I don't know whether things are going to change at you guys. I don't know whether he's going to sack Hamshaw. Because inherently, I don't think it's a bad appointment. I don't think he's a bad coach. I think, don't forget, there's such a long... We're not even... Well, we're just about to hit the end of September, and there's such a long way to go yet. Where we were at this point last season, we never thought we'd be where we were. So we went 14 games without a win. So after Christmas, it was ridiculous. We started so well, a point outside the playoffs on New Year's Day after beating Bolton, and then beating Stockport. We then beat Bolton the week after, and then after that, we didn't win for 14 games. It's crazy. Football is just so mental. I mean, we did beat Barnsley, which really, really helped. But it's just, football's too unpredictable. I couldn't tell you who's going to go up and go down yet. There's too much to change. I never thought I'd see Rotherham down near the bottom this early on in the season, though. I always thought mid-table, just because of the players that you brought in. They're not bad players. I don't think it's promotion worthy, but they're not players that deserve to get relegated. They're good players, and I think it's finding that balance, and you forget that Matty's only been in the job since sort of like the end of last season, so he's not had a full year in the job yet. He's still implementing his styles into the football. It takes time. Nigel Clough said it time after time after time. It's not an instant fix. It's a building project, and I think that's something that football fans need to realise. Sometimes it does take time. You look at what Gareth Ainsworth did at Wycombe, for example. I mean, if you wanted a new manager, go and pay him out of his contract at Gillingham. What a manager that guy is.
Yeah, take him as well. I'll just respond to that, Cam, but I'll just get some of these messages in first. Lee, can you share the link for Cam's podcast so we can also support and vote? We will support them as our favourite podcast isn't there for us to vote. Yeah, so, yeah, Cam, if after the show, if you want to send me the link and that, I'll post it on our socials for you as well, so people can vote for you. Joshua Caswell says relegation. Poppy says, I can't say the name of the other podcast. Let's just say the Hamshaw Lovers. I think it means the Pensioner podcast. The Pensioner podcast are irrelevant. So we don't talk about them anymore. They'll just happy clap all the way to League Two. So there you go on that one. Just remembered you told us Jonathan Clark-Harris was scoring for fun last week. He's only scored once and dropped to the bench. No, he's not. He's played 8 games and he's scored 3 goals. So he hasn't only scored once. So that's not correct information. Kelly Bobs. Rotherham Gaming, things can only get better. Yeah.
They can't get worse.
Joshua Caswell, 100% we're down. PP and Ladbrokes have just got as favourites to go down. So yeah. So I'm just going to respond to you, Cam. Yeah. So I get what you're saying. Obviously, sometimes you need sort of patience, and I kind of do get that. But even under Paul Warne, when things were going, was at Blackpool, and he turned it around at half time, and the rest he got promoted. I could remember under Paul Wall, there was signs that things could get better. The issue I've got with Matt Hanshaw is he's got no plan B. There's no actual signs that things are going to actually improve for us. It is just kind of nothing. And that's my worry. So normally I would say, actually, I can see something with Matt Hanshaw. I think it could get better. I just believe if he wasn't worked with Paul Warne, he would have never have got the job because he's not really qualified to get that job. I think he was a cheap option, and they were hoping that he would do a Paul Warne what Paul Warne did before. So I just don't think so. Yeah, so a comment here, that's Malik Wilkes Bushing. No, it's not. You go there, Johnson Clark Harris.
Oh dear.
Oh, we're very clear that Johnson Clark Harris has not scored one goal. Sorry, I'll just put your comment back on there. So that is the link to the Facebook for Cam's. I think, can you vote on there as well, Cam, for that?
Yes. So the link for the 2025 Football Content Awards is also on there. Also, if you really, really want to, go on the Mansfield Town Facebook page and Twitter. It's also on there. Thankfully, the club have shared it, which is really handy for us because it gets it further out. But any votes would be greatly appreciated. And I live in Rotherham, so I am an honorary Miller, depending on what day it is. So, please vote. Otherwise, we're going to round to
yes. Obviously, the viewing numbers are going up and up at the minute. So, obviously, more. If you haven't tuned in from the start, obviously,
go back. It's a great watch.
Yeah, go back. It's a great watch. And obviously, Cam's podcast are in for podcast of the year. So that's just a link there where you can get that from. Looking at the team and Matt's 3-7-0 tactics, we're 100% going down. Viper Z, Hanshaw in, what a manager. He's sending Rotherham in the right direction. That's clearly a Mansfield fan upset that I called his team a pub team, but it is what it is, lads.
I mean, I love Hanshaw. He was one of the players when I first started watching Mansfield. So I love the guy. He's great. Yeah, that's not even taking the piss. I genuinely do. Really
no. And to be honest, I think Matt Hanshaw as a footballer was about as good as he is as a manager. I think his level was. Where was you when you had Matt Hanshaw? Non-league or?
I mean, we got relegated, but that team should
have never... Exactly. This is my point. He wasn't very good at football, and he's even worse as a manager.
We had players like... We had Matty Hanshaw, we had Johnny Mullins, Alex John Baptiste. We had some unreal players that went on to have really brilliant careers in the EFL. That team
it was a quality player for Stags.
What? He's brilliant.
You'll never. The best team I saw Mansfield have. I don't know how old you are, but I used to love Chris Greenacre. Greenacre, Rotherham. I don't know if you know this, but Rotherham played Mansfield on Sky when both teams were in League Two, and they were both trying to get promoted.
Was it Tom Lawrence they had? Was it
Liam Lawrence?
Liam
Lawrence. Anyway,
we nearly signed him from you guys.
Chris Greenacre, I absolutely adored him. Chris Greenacre. Are you too young for that era then, Cam?
It was literally a couple of years before. I started 2006 for me, so that was sort of like 2005, I think.
Did you go to the famous final where Lawrence hit the crossbar?
No, I was 4 when that happened.
Right. Didn't Liam Lawrence get done for shagging about?
I genuinely couldn't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he was on. I think he got caught on some kind of. Did he go to Sunderland somewhere?
Yeah. Well, let's move on from that. Let's
With some kind of sex tape or something.
just move on from that, Lee. Yeah.
Quality player for Stags. Did any of your teams win at the weekend, Lee? No, Man United lost and Rotherham lost. And you know this, James, you weirdo. Played England under 19s, Kelly Bobbs. Did Matt Amshaw play with Woody at Sheffield Wednesday?
No, can't have done.
He might have done.
No, I don't know.
Liam Lawrence, we had signed him when Sunderland nabbed him last minute. Yeah, I remember that because they were due to come to us, and I think obviously very last minute we were probably scribbling over like 50 quid or something, and then Sunderland said we'll pay 200 quid more. You know what I mean? I think in the Boovie times that happened, but yeah, what a player he was, Liam Lawrence. I think he was a good player, mate.
He was.
Yeah, and Kelly says yes. I'm thinking Matt Amshaw did play under Larry Woody at Sheffield Wednesday. But yeah. So, thank you for everybody that's watched tonight. It's been a really good show. Unless anybody's got anything else they want to say or
just
do.
Quickly, about Bradford. Just quickly.
Have a boxing match over the free kick.
Quickly talk about Bradford. Yes, no.
Yeah. Quickly talk about Bradford. Rotherham's going to get spanked off Bradford on Thursday. You can go and watch
Bradford.
Yeah. As long as he gets Amshaw sacked, I'm not bothered.
No. I'm not having that, Paul. I am not having that.
No.
So
I don't want Rotherham to lose. I was just saying.
Yeah, I'm going to say because as much as I don't want Amshaw to be the manager, I will never ever go to a match and want my football team to lose. And I know people did that last season under Steve Evans. I think it's disgusting. I agree with you. I want us to win. I always want us to win. And if Matt Amshaw proves me wrong, I'll be the happiest man alive because it means the football club's doing well. I just believe he's out of his depth. And that's my own personal opinion. I don't. If people want to back Amshaw for whatever reason, they're every right to do that. It's only who are we? We're just opinions. It doesn't mean that my opinion's right. It doesn't mean everybody has opinions, and that's what's good about this podcast. I get everybody in here. As you can say, I don't ask anybody to say. I know people say, "Oh, they just do this for clickbait. They do that." No, I don't. I get people on, and I think the guys can vouch for me. I don't give you any sort of this is what you can say, this is what you can't say. I just say, I just want you to be yourselves, be honest, be open, because that's what people wanted when they asked me to do this podcast, because obviously there's another podcast out there that kind of don't do that. You've got to kind of agree with what everybody says, and we just don't do that. We speak honest. The club probably doesn't like us because we say it as it is, but we're honest football fans. We love this football club, and we only want what is best for the football club. And I believe what currently is best for the football club at the moment is to replace the manager. Ideally, new ownership would be a bonus, but if it's investment, it is what it is. But I think a new manager with an actual idea of what he's doing will stop us from getting relegated at the very least, which I think under Matt Amshaw we are happy clapping the way to League Two if we're not careful.
League Two is great. Notts County and Chesterfield are down there. They're great away days.
Yeah, no. Chesterfield, they're bigger than Mansfield though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but they've not beat us.
And they've got a nicer stadium than you as well. You're not forgetting that.
If their stadium had corners, it'd be a soulless bowl.
I think their stadium's actually not great, to be honest with you. I'm not saying that because Callum's on it.
I mean, that's another stadium where the Tesco's bigger than the stadium at the side of it. How long have you guys been doing this? So we've been doing it we've only been going 2 months, believe it or not. Yeah, we're virgin. We're like virgins. Do you know what I mean? So I know already I've have annoyed half the football world. I think within
Jeez.
Let's Sheffield then, Lee. Come
But
on.
one good thing is Mark Goldbridge started following me on Instagram because he loves me.
I mean, it's not cool. He's a Forest fan that's a Man United fan.
Yeah, well, he's from Nottingham. He used to be a police officer actually in Nottingham, believe it or not. It's a long story, but he has actually given me some. In fairness to him, he has actually given me some nice advice. So I can't knock Mark Goldbridge, and he supports a great football team like Man United as well. So
I mean, we've been doing this 9 years, and the biggest thing of advice I can give you: don't employ Steve Evans.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we'll employ him again if that helps. But he doesn't look like Steve Evans anymore. So he might, if he changes his name, he might get away with like being Steve Randall or something.
Steve Skinny Boy.
Yeah, he looks different. He's not the same. I feel like he's died. Do you know what I mean? Feels a bit sad.
The old Steve Evans would have eaten the new Steve Evans.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely had the jabs, 100%. You haven't lost that because he reckons he's been swimming every day and all this balls. But I've seen loads of people losing rapid weight and they've been on them jabs. And I don't think Steve Evans can stop his food. So I think he definitely can.
He was huge, absolutely huge when you visited us last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's what it does to you. The job, he got that upset we were that bad he stopped eating.
What I will say about Steve Evans, he is a hero of mine.
I'm mine.
And his weight loss journey, although it probably is that Managerial, whatever it's called. Good for him. Do you know what? He's lost.
Steve Evans. I'm with you, Tom. But for me, growing up watching Rotherham, my best two managers ever were Steve Evans and Ronnie Moore.
Agreed.
And I can't decide, even to this day. I probably pick Ronnie slightly above him.
Yeah, I would as well. Lee. Lee, what we need to say, Lee, right? Put pressure on. We need that statue of Ronnie outside New York ASAP.
Yeah, but there is talks that, because obviously we're going to build a statue of Ronnie and then me at the side of him as well, wouldn't there? Because I'm the most famous man in Rotherham, you see. So obviously there's then Ronnie Moore. So they may as well put me, Ronnie, and Steve Evans statue, three of us.
And then we could have Howard Webb, head of the PGMOL. So
yeah, there could be that as well.
If you put a statue of yourself next to the New York, I am definitely throwing something at it every time I go on the train.
No, honestly, if you go on my thing, I think it's on TikTok. I've actually done a mock of it with me and Ronnie, and people are loving it. But some people hate it, so I think it'd get vandalised pretty quickly. I don't know why.
Bushy, Ronnie looks like Ken Barlow.
I know, it's AI though, isn't it? It just did what it did, but yeah. If you haven't seen that picture yet, you need to go on there. It is quite entertaining. But yeah, I don't think Mansfield fans would look after that if they walk past it, to be honest. The abuse I've been getting on TikTok today from the Mansfield fans has been quite good, but it's all been good humour. Obviously Mansfield won the game. What I didn't say is Mansfield, I kind of didn't give Mansfield the credit really that they deserve, because they did deserve to win the game. I'm with Bez on that. I don't think it was a question of we got robbed or anything like that. I think that Mansfield fully deserved the win. And I do wish you all the best for the season. It's strange because even Doncaster, they really want to rival with us, Doncaster, but I don't even hate Doncaster. I've always felt sorry for Doncaster. So I always thought like they were always lingering down the bottom of non-league and stuff like that. I think
I agree.
Wonder who put that up. Bez, I've told you to stop posting yourself under different names.
Are you a
We
florist,
should have a
Ben?
statue of the first English manager to World Cup final, George Rayner. George Rayner.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, come on, let's wrap up.
So I want to thank everybody for watching again. We've had huge numbers watching live again. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for everybody in the comments. They have made it actually fun tonight. Thank you to Deirdre. I really enjoyed watching her when she was doing the washing on the side when we were playing. That was absolutely brilliant. And thank you to everybody. Thank you to Cam for coming on. He's been a great sport.
Top lad, Cam.
I'm not sure he would have come on had we beat Mansfield, though. Would you have come on had we beat them? Be honest.
If we'd have drawn, I probably would have. If we'd have lost, no, because I'd just been hiding because I have a big flag on my wall that you can see through my window. So,
Bushy, mentioned about Cam going to Madrid to race toy cars.
oh dear.
Oh yeah, Cam's after this show. Cam's getting on a plane. What?
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
work
he's
in
got a really big car that he races, and he's going to Madrid for. Show us your car. This is. Look at that. That's a great car. That.
Wow, cool. That.
So, obviously, he's going to Madrid for. We have it all here on Terrace Talk. You know what I mean? Cars. Adam in his underpants. Adam's disappeared tonight. Can we do a welfare check for Adam? I think he's got scared.
Adam, where are you?
I think he's got scared. I was going to destroy him about him sticking up for Hampshire every 5 minutes and telling us that Jordan Hugel's to blame for everything from him not being good looking to not having a good job to just being Adam. He blames Jordan Hugill for literally everything. I think actually Jordan Hugel's probably doing a DNA test to make sure that his kids aren't Adam's as well, because Adam don't want to pay for him, so he's going to blame it on Hugill. So Adam's missing tonight. I don't know where he is. If anybody can do a welfare check for Adam, please let him know. I'm looking for him, and he's been sorely missed, especially by Bez. Bez really enjoyed the watch along with him on Saturday. Again, Bez. I think Bez, I'm going to start putting you up for Misfits boxing because you're getting start getting aggressive in that little Alan Sugar chair. So thank you, Tom, again. Absolutely fantastic. The people love him. Thank you to Bez. Thank you to Cam. Don't forget
Well done,
to
Cam. Good lad, Cam.
Vote for his team. Shout out to Tom's daughter. Is that your daughter, Tom? Say hello.
Violet.
Hello to Violet. She's going to say
Violet.
goodbye.
Have a quick say hello. She's a big.
She's going to end the show and give us an Up the Millers.
Poor
Say
kid.
up the Millers.
Up the Millers. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on Thursday. Thanks again
Up
for
the
watching.
Millers. Cheers,
Millers.
guys.